forth and so on. Okay, but what you men don't understand, and some of you women don't understand, he's a 16-year-old boy. Okay, he's not yet wise enough to know the complete ins and out, even though he may pretend to be. He may tell you that he can, and he may portray to be. Okay, but it's like night and day to a 36-year-old man to a 16-year-old boy. Okay, and he is going to be programmed while he is getting this false sense of authority in the home. Okay, that's the way life's supposed to be, because during those ages, when he's 19 and younger, okay, that's when the severe training happens. That's when the programming, that's when Agent Smith begins sticking him with all kind of syringes, where he would drag everything that you give him and experience with you, okay, into his adulthood when he is past the age of 26 to 30 and to 40. If he reached age 40 meaning when he catches wisdom at the age 32, is when red pills start coming at him from all his directions, and he awakens. 40, he's free. Okay, but before that time, it's self-discovery. All right. Some get it earlier. Now they're getting it earlier in this generation because men are speaking up. Men are aware now. Men are realizing that their little sister wasn't an angel the whole time. You know, they're realizing that they've been protecting Agent Smith to get away with all kind of chaos and catastrophe at a very high advantage rate, while he is constantly being at a disadvantage. Okay, so however, it starts there. So he would never get to the point yet to realize his position is a program position. Oh, you watch the house. You are a protector. You are to provide. You are to do this for women. You are to open up the door for women. You are to read out the red carpet for women. If they say yes, you say yes. If they say no, you say no. You know, you are there to be the flower bearer, and you make the flowers and you give them the flower. You go out there let's say wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Don't come home till 8 o'clock at night after tilling the grass as a farmer, you know, after yielding the grass, after you're out there in your John Deere tractor all day long. You come back while she's sitting there on the couch. Okay, you are to do this for at least 14, 16 years while you marry this girl. Okay, until she gets bored of you and she wants to bait and switch and she leaves you with her false sense of independence and liberty and say she don't need a man or needs you and the labor that you have so exhaustively put in, okay, for the 15 or 16 years of your life as a wasted experience. Okay, wishing that you can start all over again because of that falsehood as a young child, because men need to understand, as well as you women, okay, that it's your task, not the child's task. And too many of them do that. Same as what I just told you in Children Don't Have a Chance. All right. When the girl is too young, 15, 16, and the mom leaves the house and she'll say, well, watch your younger sister who's 8 years old or something like that. This 15, 16-year-old girl now takes on the task of mom. Now she's growing up too fast. Now she is thinking that she's a grown girl. Now she takes on the idea that she knows everything, that nobody can tell her anything, and that she's smart, intellectual, and she has the experience of a 90-year-old woman. Okay, she knows it all. Why? Because the mom have decided to delegate her with power that this little girl does not understand yet. So it's more of a self-programming and a de-evolving mindset than it was for some of you to think, well, I'm giving this child some responsibility because I want them to understand responsibility. It's a counteractive measure when you go above and beyond. I can understand, tell them to go get the mail, cut the grass, earn what you get. I can understand small things like that. Okay. Be responsible for, make sure that they don't get ice cream and cookies out of the refrigerator when I go take a shower. Okay, those are small responsibilities. That's small responsibilities. Okay, we understand that. Clean up your room, vacuum the floor, make sure the door is locked when you leave the door. Do your homework at night. Do your homework and you earn, your, what do you call that? Your it's just been a long time since I can't even figure out what it was. When you earn money, okay, when you earn the what is it? That's the tip of my mouth. Okay, Morpheus can't find it. Okay, I'll find it eventually. Anyway, when he earns his money from dad or mom, Okay, allowance. There we go. My God, allowance. It's just not, listen, it's just not in my dictionary anymore. And it's not in my vocabulary because I hate the word allow. The word allow is like a slave type of thing where I am allowing you to do something. I am allowing you to, I'm allowing you to live your life. I'm allowing you to be free, that sort of thing. I'm allowing you to say what needs to be said. I just don't like that word. So I erased it from my vocabulary and my subconscious, so it's hard to find it anymore because I don't go by allow. I do what I want to do. Okay. I don't go by, oh, you allow me to be. No, I'm going to do it anyway. And you're not stopping me. Okay. I don't bend my knees for anybody, nor do I take the second seat because I'm red pill alpha dude. I'm the man in the front. So allow is not in my vocabulary. I veto that. I push that to the side. Like, what's that? What the hell's that? Allow what? I'm going to be me, dude. But anyway, getting back to the story and put a closure to this audio. So what you must understand at a large rate, this is actually the foundation and the basis of how blue pill simps are actually created and why they want to fight everyone, alpha red pill men like myself and others who are telling them that they're coveting for a hidden snake. Okay, and then they still want to go out there and have a hope strategy. And, well, God said that there's a woman made for me. There's Adam and Eve, while he's sitting down in church reading from the Bible with his legs crossed. Okay, not understanding that indoctrination is what made him soft. Don't you understand on a large scale, men are made to be leaders and they're made to construct their own path. Men are made to create their own legacy. Men are made to be the ones who chop the wood, the ones who are burly, the ones who go out there and make things happen, not sitting down in some church praying for something to happen with his legs crossed, reading from somebody's book. Okay, if he's reading from any type of book, it's a book of empowerment. It's a book on constructions on how to build his own life. It's a book on how to be better as a man. It's a book that inspires him to be the best that he can ever be, not some book telling him that he's some sinner and some degraded human being that deserves, that needs to be on some type of grace or mercy from an invincible God. His logic will not allow that to happen. His sensibilities will not allow that to happen. And nature and the mathematical equations of historical facts will not ever let that happen either. It's just when you sit in there, you become feminized. And the first thing you think is, oh, women is everything and men are insignificant. Women are better than men and we need to serve him. My task is to work until I die and raise her and praise her as if she's the queen, even if she haven't deserved it. All the while she is putting me at a disadvantage and I get nothing. She gains everything by the state, your country, your laws, your rules, and other blue pill beta guys. Okay, simps. Okay, who have no confidence in themselves or confidence in their own sensible logic because it was never installed because mommy and daddy is still leaving the house saying, oh, you 8-year-old or you 16-year-old, you have the responsibility of this castle. Although I'm not going to teach you what that responsibility is by example. Therefore, you need to understand pre-making your child like that so early is a damaging effect because I gave you an example. I see it all the time. Could you imagine? And it happens before and it does happen around the country. And as a teacher, okay, I've seen it multiple times myself where those kids aren't just 8 years old and 16. Oftentimes it's going to be a 17-year-old and a 7-year-old child of some age. And the 17-year-old's looking at you with cross eyes saying, you what? You stranger, you this and that. And you're like, wait a minute, kid, you don't know what's going on. You what? You what? You what? And want to get in your face and pump you and chest bump you. Okay, and chest bump you and want to fight you, but have no idea about what they're doing because they're programmed in that position because daddy say, you're in charge because I'm not going to be home. And the worst yet, and I'm going to go ahead and close it. The worst yet is when that dad isn't there because the mom don't want him to be there. And the mom transforms that boy to be the new daddy of the house. That's the killer red pill there. That's the study and the measure. That's what becomes the destruction underneath the bridge. Or you can say the troll underneath the bridge that actually distorts the American family of what you see today. Whereas the women cannot find them a husband. They will not find them a husband or a decent companion because they already have one. It's their son. No, it's not considered as donkey dunking with them and laying with them and sleeping with it, all that kind of stuff. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the very fact that they're in the position that men are supposed to be in, that alpha men are supposed to be in, that real men who are of logical guidance and experience and cognitive reality, not dissonance, cognitive reality, are an awareness of their life and themselves supposed to be in, where they are made to be in that position to guide the family and the home in the right direction. But yet that woman say, no, my son's going to be that. I don't want to be in a relationship because I'm only concentrating on my 4 kids, my 3 kids, my 2 kids. Okay, when I'm not at home, they're in charge. So therefore, there is no hope. There's no salvation. I'm not going to say hope. Hope is not in my dictionary either. I just say that for your cognitive mindset. Okay, it's expectation. Okay, there's not too many expectations anymore. This is why you have troubles finding a decent, virtuous woman in your environment, in your area, because they have a support system that goes beyond sensibilities. It goes beyond the logic anymore. There's no more, because he's programmed as a child, okay, too soon to be in daddy's position where he's not supposed to be in. He's not supposed to be in that position. He still is a child. He's supposed to be the one that's sitting there studying his studies, his school, working on his career, whatever it is, trying to figure out what he needs to do and leave the house and make a family of his own, or just leave the house and make a life of his own. That's his position and his task. Same as what I said in the other audio. It's the same thing. But because he's being given this responsibility too soon and twisted, in a twisted form, with 2 forms of bad examples of mom and dad, okay, his future is destroyed literally and physically, spiritually, okay, and metaphysically right before our faces. And so the rat wheel continues, and these children become your bosses eventually. They become the people that you work with in the masses. They become the ones that you see every single day in the grocery store market, okay, with all the catastrophe and atrocities that you talk about on your YouTube channels and behind closed doors. So you try to say, well, you know, these people had free will to decide their choices. They were just an adult or something like that, and they decided to live the life that is atrocious today. Okay. The unbalanced mentality, the aggressiveness, the drug usage, the heavy alcohol, the domestic violence and things like that. You will be absolutely wrong, because it starts at home. That's where it starts. They were programmed to be that way because there was a mom who said, I don't need a man. There was a man who said, oh, you know what? You're going to be responsible when I leave the house. Okay, and you thinking, well, it's a positive thing for that child. No, because they don't know everything, and they're going to take that measure of responsibility, authority, and you can say oppressed labor that you have given unto them that belongs to you. Okay, they're going to drag it into their adulthood, and they're not going to figure out how wrong it is until the crossroad comes, until that red pill comes smashing them to the concrete. Okay, by that time it's domestic violence. By that time it's a prison sentence or a jail sentence. By that time it's multiple tickets and the suspension of license. By that time they're in the rehab. By that time they lost several women. By that time they've got several women pregnant, or they were the ones who got pregnant several times themselves as the daughter. Okay, but yeah, we love our children, but we don't comprehend how serious the rat hole is and how deep it goes. It is severe, and we don't understand that because we're too busy in the new modern day age where anything goes. I'm liberated to do whatever I want. It's my life. It's my life. Well, when you bring a child to your circle, it's no longer your life. Now you're responsible for another life. Get over it. Yes, you can live your life however you see fit, but now you are responsible for this other life that you decide to take up as a responsibility. So should that child be in your grips? Because most of them aren't, because fathers aren't allowed in the family or around the woman. Okay, and there are several few who aren't as far as the woman is concerned. Okay, but the majority of them, it's the woman who is always given the mallet and the responsibility. Okay, so therefore it's no longer your life. Now you got to consider this young child, okay, as a severe responsibility that you are creating the future through that child's experience. So therefore, it's no good to say, oh, son, you're going to be the dad or the father of the house when I'm gone. That's a bad move. That's a very bad move, because you're talking about somebody who's inexperienced. It's no different than you give this. Why do you think that there's certain laws where you can't drink for a certain age to be 21 or something of that nature? You know, there's certain games they can't play. There's certain places they can't go to the club because they're a certain age. You know, even a sexual marketplace, as some people call it, they definitely not allowed there because they're too young. So why would you give them the responsibilities of an adult in any other type of form and say that they are okay to be in your position as an adult and they are a child? So therefore, the blue pill beta is created right there. And then men like myself and others got to deal with them on social media. We got to deal with them in their everyday life. And they the first ones walking down the aisle talking about, oh, this is the woman of my dreams, until 10 years later. And now he wants to come back home to mommy and daddy. I need help. Now I'm paying child support for this baby and she's gone somewhere else. She decided to move to New York City. Oh, I thought she was the woman of your dreams, son. Oh, well, I got the information too late, Dad, because you was too lazy and you didn't understand what the red pill was all about. So you raised me up to be just like you. Useless. Red pill simp. When it's not that anymore. It's not the time of the biblical text anymore. Get over it. This isn't traditional chivalry anymore here in America, the westernized civilization. It is a real hidden civil war between man and woman. Get over it. It's not the traditional days anymore. It's not 1930. This is the 20s, the 2020s. We have gone out of control and we have allowed it to happen because day after day, we have allowed our liberties, and our internal civil rights to be taken from us 1 inch at a time, to the point where we are senseless and mindless. You got to understand that and overstand it. So therefore, in any way, form, or fashion, we can turn this thing around. So you got my other audio and you got this one. This is why you can't peer bond. This is why you can't get into a relationship with a mother who already got 2 or 3 kids. Especially if those kids are grown up and they allowed their kids to be the authority of the home. You're going to allow the donkey to move the how do you say that? You're going to allow the tail to be the front of the head of the horse? You're going to put the cart before the horse? Seriously? And say, oh, it's normal. It's natural. It's acceptance here in America, in the West. This is just what we do. This is the new normal. No, it's the new idiot behavior. That's what it is. And then you're going to worry about having a future. You be the first one talking about, oh, the president ain't doing this. The politicians are liars. Oh, we need to change America. I can't believe this is on the news. But yet you're the first harborer of this nonsense, and don't realize that the tools you got is right there at home, sitting on the couch next to you, sucking on a lollipop. Amazing. Amazing. This is Leon C, aka Morpheus, and I am for the empowerment of the future, whether you like it or not. I don't like the Matrix. I hate the Matrix, and I hate the machine, because that's all we are going towards with our computerized, senseless mentality anymore. We need to focus on what we're doing consciously and aware that we are the beginning force that is pushing the nations downhill. In order to stop it, open up your ears and focus on the red pill and the right that people are discussing all over your planet. Of course, like it, share it, and pass it on.